the edge rush.
Yeah, so one more time. I think Draymond Jones is going to be the power rusher that they expect him to be, and I think he's going to probably be more effective for the coach's perspective than he might be on the outside because he won't be the flashiest guy. Elijah Ponder, you're really hoping he takes a big second-year leap because behind him, it's clearly Gabe Backus, but Gabe Backus in the preseason has really looked like he's still thinking, he's getting, his legs under him, and he is because he missed a whole lot of the offseason and training camp. And behind him, I still have 3 edge rushers on the roster. I think that you probably sign like Hutchins, somebody else, I don't know, to the practice squad and then elevate them for special teams and a little bit of pass rush depth. But I feel like you need to make some kind of acquisition because Harold Landry, we did see him early on in practice. He had the Exos thing running around, or that was yesterday rather, but I don't know how close he is to a return.
How do you feel about Harold Landry? How do you feel about Harold Landry for week 1?
Pessimistic. I've been pessimistic about Harold Landry the entire time.
I didn't put him on IR or on PUP on my last roster projection. I wish I had.
Oh, no, he's not.
But if you don't have him, it's because, Taylor, I'm with you.
I'm scared.
This is the big glaring hole on the roster. As much as we've talked about the depth in some other places, those are depth. The last few years we talked about, well, this is a concern, and that was in the context of them, being representative on any given Sunday. When we talk about concerns now, it's about them winning the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. And on the margins. This one exists a little more in the middle than on the margins. Mm-hmm. If you don't have Harold Landry to start the season, or even if you do and he isn't right, it's Draymond Jones, who, fine player, okay, better complimentary. Elijah Ponder, who didn't have a bad summer, but I think had a disappointing summer. I was looking for a little more out of him, more of that year 2 leap, show some more dimensions to his game than just a pass rush. Gabe Backus, who is very raw right now. I still believe in long term, but is very raw. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Other sneaky storyline of camp, we kept talking about, all right, well, somebody from that other edge group, we're going to be looking for somebody to emerge. Braden Swinson, Q Hutchins, Xavier Holmes, Jesse Lucetta.
Mari Gaynor.
Hutchins has had an okay close to camp here.
At the end, but is it roster worthy?
Right, it might be too little too late. It might be okay. Well, if we don't have Landry, we need X number of edge rushers on the team, so he's here. But, they could claim 1, maybe 2. This kind of feels like how tackle felt the last 2 years, where you're not talking about, all right, you're going to claim somebody on waivers to round out the depth chart. You might not even need him till October. They could claim somebody on waivers who's playing week 1 at edge. It really kind of feels like that.
I agree.
Are we keeping an eye on the Commanders this year and Kayvon Chason at the trade deadline?
Do we know how he's been?
I'm not sure, but I know they
only signed a 1-year deal.
1-year deal. Yeah. I know the Commanders have a tough schedule this year, starting back-to-back division road games. So if they kind of fall out of it by trade deadline, I don't know.
Did they draft an edge rusher in the first round?
Yeah. 2? Oh, no, but they also... No, they didn't, but they signed, was it Ojulari or Owe?
They signed Owe.
Yeah.
Owe.
They signed one of the big-name free agents, yeah. So, Mark Daniels had a good tweet. I'll actually pull it up about, as camp comes to a close, a lot of the guys that they moved on from...
They could use right now.
Well, they didn't, replace. In terms of, I think they were counting on internal growth, which is not always a bad thing. And again, credit to Mark Daniels for this. I thought this was a good point. After watching 22 days of camp, I agree with Mike Vrabel. There's issues with depth at multiple positions. Did the Patriots adequately replace, and the players he names, and it's a good list, Kayvon Chason, Kyrus Tonga, Antonio Gibson, Jack Gibbons, Jelani Tavai, and Vidarian Lowe.
I'd say kind of 50-50.
So, all right, well, let's go through real quick, and then we'll get to Brian and Mike's. Kayvon Chason.
I just think it's different, honestly, because I think that, you could say that Kayvon's a better pass rusher, but Draymond, if he's the run defender he's supposed to be, will put you in more positions where you can pin your ears back.
So they could have had both. I think they could have had both. I think that should have been. I think Fair. If they had signed Draymond Jones then added Chason, I'd feel a lot better about the room.
Is Kayvon a situational pass rusher for the Commanders, or is he expected to be a starter?
I'm not sure.
Is he going to come back and be demoted?
I think he's situational there. For what they paid him like a situational guy.
Okay.
He did not. What was it, 1 year, $11 million, something like that?
I'll look it up,
but that sounds right.
They paid him situationally. They could use him right now.
I just, how often do you see a veteran accept a demotion in return on a free agent deal?
Is it really a demotion though?
Yeah, he was almost a starter. He was more of a starter than anything last season.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
obviously they would put
11,
Anthony. No, sometimes he was on the field with Anthony on rundowns. He was a starter for them.
Well, it's signing another. We kind of said at the time they need to sign 2 veterans, regardless of what they do in the draft. So even if it wasn't Chason, somebody else.
I think they could have gotten more depth because of Harold Landry. Because you might have replaced Chason, but now you have no Harold Landry, and you're hoping Elijah Ponder's better.
They needed an edge rusher at the end of last season, as the roster looked at the end of last season. Draymond Jones replaced Kayvon Chason. So they still needed somebody.
That's fair.
And they drafted Akis, but a veteran and more proven player. Kyrus Tonga.
Oh, they did not
No.
replace him. No.
They're missing a nose tackle. But some people have knocked the defensive tackle depth. I think it's more needing to fill a role than depth.
Nose tackle? Back on nose tackle?
Right. I think, I trust, and there's going to be a drop-off. Leonard Taylor,
Farmer.
Joshua Farmer, like if they have to step in for a game or two for Barmore or Williams, I feel good about them on pass rushing downs. How are they stopping the run when those guys step in? So, and now look, you can get a nose tackle. Not every team really uses a traditional nose tackle. Those guys are out there floating around. But I don't know if Durden had the jump maybe they expected. Maybe it's Eric Gregory and we're underselling him. But
he's been kind of disappointing to me.
Gregory?
Eric Gregory, yeah.
I think Farmer's been the best on the practice fields, but it
Yes.
hasn't translated necessarily to the preseason game so far.
He needs to stay on his feet more. Like
Yeah.
you see the power, and it's like good in the beginning, and then as the down goes, you're like, ah.
Now, I'll put a caveat on Antonio Gibson. I don't think he's signed.
No.
And he's coming off a pretty significant knee injury, so that might have been a matter of like, if he's not healthy or he's not himself, you can't bring him back.
The fact that they're cycling through so many running backs right now and not just like going back to Gibson tells me the knee's probably not in a great spot.
But should they have maybe invested more in a running back? We thought they were maybe going to like draft one a little bit higher. I know they took Jam Miller in the 7th, but draft one a little higher.
Miles Montgomery got hurt also.
He did, but
And you expect Land to basically have his rookie
should they
year
have
now.
drafted? Should they have
Terrell
invested
got
more?
hurt too.
Terrell
Like,
as
I
well.
think-
Yeah, they took a lot of
That's
shots
true.
in the backfield.
I'm going to combine these two: Jack Gibbons, Jelani Tavai.
No, they
Pause.
didn't replace.
Thanks.
Jack Gibbons, Jelani Tavai.
Jack Gibbons replaced with KJ Britt. Jelani, I don't think they replaced him.
No, not really.
Is Britt an adequate replacement for Gibbons?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. Maybe not as good of a special teamer, but I don't think it's enough that I'd be like, why didn't you replace Jack Gibbons? It's like I can at least see what the vision was.
I think they were counting on one, because last year we thought Gibbons was a special teamer, might make the team, might not, and then he obviously developed. I think that between KJ Britt and Chad Moomin, Khalil Jacobs, it was like we can do what we did with Jack with one of these guys. I don't know that any of them had the full Jack Gibbons summer.
I wish Khalil Jacobs didn't get hurt.
If Khalil
That's
Jacobs-
what I saw
He's
from
legit.
him.
Maybe he was trending in that direction. And the last one on that list was Darian Lowe.
Can't replace Vidarian Lowe.
They didn't need another veteran tackle. Like it's you have
James
Marcus
Hudson, I
Bryant, who
guess.
they clearly liked. You take one in the first round. They have James Hudson, who was back to tackle day after playing guard.
Crown over, you already have too many offensive
Yeah,
tackles.
so that's if it ends up, wow, they really missed Vidarian Lowe, I can live with that
I think
one.
he got taken up by the substation.
Did he? Is he
Yeah.
hurt? He's in San Francisco.
Yeah, he's on that list. He's in San
Ah,
Fran.
that sucks.
He's
Thoughts
been-
and prayers, brother.
Yeah, I think he's
Was
okay
bound to
now.
happen
He was
eventually.
on the list. It's bound to happen.
The substation comes forever.
Yeah, they,
So Taylor, your big knock or your big takeaway is the edge rush. I'm just going to co-opt that. I have another take if you guys don't give it kind of on the tail end of that, but Mike.
I mean, mine was also the edge. I think that's the obvious layering hole on the defense and the one that we should be. Probably the biggest takeaway defensively from the summer is the lack of edge rush depth. As you guys all know, as I pull up this ad read, this episode and every episode of Patriots Beat, Patriots Daily, and everything here on the CLNS Media Network is powered by our friends over at Prize Picks. We got big tennis slams. We obviously have the preseason here, and you can get in on all of that action right now on the Prize Picks app. The football preseason, like I said, is here. It wraps up this weekend, and there's no better place to run your game than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. We got star players on new teams and a rookie class ready to take over, all while teams get started on the biggest football season yet. Make a lineup with player stats, game picks, winners, spreads, totals, and so much more, all in the same lineup, all on Prize Picks, now available in all 50 states. We'll have a slew of lineups here on the CLNS Media Network for this weekend's game between the Patriots and the Browns. So make sure you keep it here, check it out. And if you want to get in on the action, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $150 instantly in lineups. If you win your first $5 lineup, just download the app today and use code CLNS to get $150 instantly in lineups if you win your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app.
Pretty much the whole edge position right there. And I think just a big part of that, as we said, like they were probably counting a lot on Akis when they drafted him, and I think we all sat up here and after the draft said he can be like an impact player day one, not an impact player, but at least a piece you can count on.
A guy you're comfortable putting
day
out there.
one, and just he looks like a guy again who missed the whole spring. Like things are moving way too fast for him, and I know, the coaching staff is still high on him long term. I think all of us are still high on him long term from what we saw at college and just watching him out there. The power, how he like the size just jumps right out to you. But
he looks completely different than everybody else.
Lower half
him.
just is huge compared to everyone else's, but it's going to take some time there.
I think they're counting a lot on two guys to fix the edge position, Harold Landry and Gabe Akis.
Were they counting on Harold? Like, I would love a straight answer from somebody.
The way they built the team kind of felt like they were.
I don't disagree, but that just feels so I mean, they have more information than us, but
they do.
It feels misguided to have expected Harold Landry to be a significant factor, considering what we saw the last time he was on the field. Right. The fact that he's 30 years old.
I'm with you, but it does fit. Like, doesn't this all make a lot more sense if Landry is a big part of it?
Yes.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's a massive if.
But that's my point. Like, they could have added another layer of security.
Short-sighted of them to think that he was just going to come back from what he did and not be on PUP when the season starts.
They do love Harold Landry, so they might have thought about it.
Make sure to subscribe to Patriots newsfeed on CLNS for all of our behind-the-scenes clips, bloopers, and much more very entertaining content.